Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Pokemon Heroes. Now, I haven't seen this movie before until last week, and what do I think of it? Well, let's get into it and find out. We get the same repeated monologue Brock made in the last movie as it's animated the same way, and we learn about Ash Ketchum, Misty, and Brock the same way as before, as this feels like a repeat from last time, which is very unnecessary, as is this whole movie. And we move on to a couple of women from Team Rocket robbing a library where they take a book about Latios, which is the male Pokemon, and Latias, which is the female Pokemon. And they are the legendary Pokemon for this movie as they stop by a town where Ash, Misty, and Brock are at. When Ash and Misty test their water Pokemon out for a swimming race. And eventually, Pikachu joins Ash and they race until Ash's water Pokemon Totodile is being controlled by either Latios or Latias. And Team Rocket, Jesse, James, and Meowth eat some food as they get splashed on, and at some point, Ash goes the wrong way as a person they meet, Ross, is in the lead along with Misty, being with them, and Ash is turned the wrong way, and Ross and Misty get neck and neck, but the winner ends up being Misty. While Latios and Latias, I think it's Latias, got Ash out of the race, and these 10 minutes are rather painful to watch. Ross tells the three heroes about the legend of Latios and Latias, while the female Team Rocket finds a girl named Bianca attached to Latias and go after them while they ride by the real Team Rocket, and they get to Latias while getting captured by the female Team Rocket until Ash stops them from capturing Latias and runs away from the female Team Rocket and their Pokemon, and they do get away with while she eventually disappears as Ash and Pikachu find Brock and Misty eating some ice cream and get to the museum being tortured by an old man. Well, not toured, excuse me, not tortured, but toured by an old man with Bianca. And Ash finds her and she says she doesn't know him after he catches up to her. And do I care for the characters? Again, not at all. As this is the worst of the movies have gotten, in my opinion. Ash and Pikachu find Latias disguised as Bianca while going in the world of Latias, where they meet the real Bianca and suddenly almost gets into a fight with Latios, until the old man named Lorenzo from the museum comes in and helps them out and becomes friends with Latios and licking Pikachu like he likes him, while Latias plays with Ash, and Latias can transform into any human, even Bianca, as that's her powers. As Pikachu rides on Latios, and Latias sights shares with Lorenzo, Bianca, and Ash, and Pikachu, and the sound effects were bad, even this in the sights sharing by Latios and Latias. Lorenzo and Bianca show Ash a beautiful jewel stuck in the fountain of water as they want to keep it a secret, and they have Ash's word for Latias wants to keep playing with Ash, which was, I guess, cute, as they're like kittens and puppies. And they go back to the real world as Bianca takes Ash into the town, while he explains the couple of female Team Rockets tried to go after Latias, as he finds out, as does she, while the real Team Rocket tries to follow the female Team Rocket, but they fall down and blast off again by splashing in the water. While the female Team Rocket finds the world of Latias and Latios and fights them both and captured Latios and take the jewel rather successfully, while Latias manages to escape and she looks for Ash and Bianca, while the female Team Rocket cracks a code to their ultimate power, as Bianca and Lorenzo see the jewel is captured as well as Latios. And do I care for the plot? Absolutely not, as I want to move on to Detective Pikachu at this point. Lorenzo and Bianca find the female Team Rocket and they put Lorenzo and Bianca asleep while Latias, as Bianca is still finding them, and Bianca comes in to find Ash, and introduces Latias to Misty and Brock, as he tells the whole story of his afternoon while Latios opens his eyes so Latias can see what's happening to them, as well as Bianca and Lorenzo are captured, and the real Team Rocket can't come into their world as they don't want intruders, as Ash, Pikachu, and Latias go to the museum as Latias leads them there, and Latias gets attacked by a pterodactyl looking Pokemon. I think it's called Aerodactyl, but I forget what its name is off the top of my head, which I do know, but I forgot its name. And Ash almost drowns until Latias saves his life and finds a way to get there quicker as Brock and Misty's Pokemon look for Ash and Pikachu along with Latias and save their lives, and once again making convenient choices, as does this whole series, as it's getting too cliche to a point. They get to the museum with the female Team Rocket, and they almost drown and go round 2 while one of the female Team Rocket, Oakley, sees the other, Annie, I guess is her name, getting trapped as Ash and the heroes look for a way to get Latios out of, as he's hurt badly, and the power suddenly stopped and eventually wakes up the female Team Rocket, almost escaping with the jewel, but a power does some anyways, kind of goes off, and the water suddenly disappears from the town, and Latios and Latias try to bring him back the water, as that was confusing to me, and this action scene confuses me to death. Like, I don't get what's happening at this point. Latios does sacrifice himself at first. I think he does sacrifice himself. What am I talking about? To save the water, while Latias is sad about it, and the water gets to town, and the female Team Rocket gets squished and gets arrested by the police, while the heroes look for Latios and Latias, but they do find Latias, but she says Latios is in a light where it leads him to Pokemon heaven, and Latias is light seeing and looks for Latios along with our heroes, and sees he's in Pokemon heaven, as they thank Latios and they want him to stay alive, but unfortunately, he can't. As Ash and the heroes say their goodbyes to Bianca, Lorenzo, and Latias, as Latias is disguised as Bianca, and she kisses Ash goodbye, and she gives him a picture of Ash and Pikachu, and continue on their adventure as far as the movies are concerned, or the show, and the audience will never see again, as I didn't ask for this movie to exist, while the female Team Rocket sit in jail, and I don't care for the climax, which made this movie worse in the anime Pokemon series, but how much will the rating will get? Let's get into it. I'll give this movie a 1.5 out of 10. The opening scene felt like a total repeat of the opening sequence of Pokemon Forever, as this movie is unnecessary and this whole movie is painful to watch. And maybe for the last time, I don't care for the characters at all, as this is the worst of the movies have gotten, in my opinion, and the anime is the same as last time but done much worse. The effects looked very bad, and the filmmakers make a bunch of convenient choices that were bothering me from the get-go, as it's getting too cliche, as the final action scene confused me to death. I don't get what's happening by the end of the movie. I don't care for the climax, which makes this movie the worst in the anime Pokemon series ever, in my opinion, as this is not the movie I asked for, and this is a strong non-recommendation for this movie, as I declare this the worst in the anime Pokemon movies I've seen. And I have seen Detective Pikachu, and I'll get to my opinion on that next time. And until then, excuse me.